After a 2-week hiatus, we are back in the building on a Thursday night. Welcome back, everybody, to the Dead Red Podcast. Shouts to Killer Joe and Jacob in the chat. Like, comment, subscribe to all the good stuff. Turn on post notifications so you know when the live stream pops for video drops. Appreciate y'all coming back as usual. Obviously, the Yankees won their series today. The Red Sox did as well against the Minnesota Twins. If you're a New York sports fan, you're probably happy right now. I mean, obviously, the Knicks, they're in the playoffs, but they also kind of lost, so they have to make it up tomorrow. The Rangers are winning right now. The Giants, the draft is a week away, but with that being said, I'm going to hand it over to Sox. What's going on, man?
What's going on? I think the Sox are playing a little bit better than maybe we anticipated here early. Pitching staff giving us some issues, but overall, I'm liking what I see. Yeah, New York Giants draft 1 week away. Super excited. Celtics in the playoffs. Excited to watch the Suns as well tonight. So a lot of sports going on. Feeling good about it. How you doing, Alex?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good, guys. Hit us with your questions of all sorts. Like, comment, subscribe to all the good stuff, as I probably said in the beginning. Shouts to Lorenzo, Jacob, MH in the chat. Guys, also, we have merch, as mentioned, last few nights. I'm going to put that in the chat as well. We got some Brian merch, Angry John. Also, Luke, I got to get myself on some merch and also create some stuff for the channel. So let me do that real quickly so I can put it in the chat and you guys can take a look. Also, by the way, as well, we got memberships, of course. Get exclusive access to some of the stuff we do behind the scenes and exclusive content. So press that join button, become a member for $4.99 a month. Quickly got robbed. Malcolm is not the better player. Did Malcolm Brogdon win the
Sixth man of the year?
Officially?
Yeah, officially.
I mean, with bias, I don't agree with that, but
with bias, I do.
Well, I mean, we know why, but shouts to Daniel Berry Sports in the chat. Yankees have a potential dynasty, and they're fucking it up from the jump. I mean, some of the guys played well today. I didn't get to watch a full game, but with that being said, thoughts on Shane's comments today. So all I know and all I heard from the presser, because I was busy most of the day, is that basically there's nothing going on between Barkley's party of people, and the same thing goes for Joe Shane and his party of people, which is a little interesting. I said last night, now if you guys haven't already, go check out the Giants Chronicles podcast. I said I would prioritize the Dexter Lawrence contract over the Barkley contract, because as much of an important player Saquon Barkley is, Dexter Lawrence, I mean, you got a couple of good defensive tackles getting paid, and you don't want that going to $27 million before he hits his eventual prime. Shouts to Booyah in the chat. What's going on, guy? Booyah. What's up, everybody in the chat? I want to get your thoughts on this first, Sox. Because this happened, actually, which one should we get into first? The Max Scherzer stuff, or should we get into Oakland finally making the move?
Let's talk about Scherzer a little bit, because I think it's kind of bogus what's going on here. What do you think?
I have a question, Sox. Is that a Detroit Tigers shirt?
This is a Detroit Tigers World Series shirt from the actual Tigers Stadium in 2012. My grandpa, who passed away in 2017, was a big Tigers fan, big Miguel Cabrera fan, and he got me this shirt from the World Series. So I like to rep it here and there.
Very nice. Very nice. Shouts to Jeffrey in the chat. Lorenzo, I think you got your question just answered right now. That was my curiosity. Obviously, Sox is a Sox fan, but he's paying homage to his grandfather with a Tigers shirt. He's younger and DTs last longer. That is absolutely true. But with that being said, obviously yesterday I think was when Scherzer got ejected. And apparently the whole situation was, I mean, I could probably pull it up in a video or something. But apparently what Scherzer was doing is he had rosin, and also as well, he was like cleaning it with alcohol or something along the lines of that. And then an MLB official saw him cleaning it with the alcohol and said it was okay. And then there was also a mixture of sweat in there. And then they go out, he pitches, does whatever, and the umpires toss him. And I got this little thing from Ken Rosenthal here, who is a part of a new podcast network called Foul Territory. at least, yep, is from foul territory. He goes, there was a memo sent out to all the clubs in spring training. If rosin is misapplied or used excessively, then it can be considered a foreign substance. So, like, I'm not going to sit here and defend this whole, what the hell? It was a spider tack that caused the whole thing a few years ago. And now they don't know how to regulate it. I just, the pitchers need to use something. That's what my belief is. You know, you want control on your pitches and all that sort of stuff. But at the same time, you got to know how to regulate it. And I get it; it's tough to regulate with rosin and all that stuff. As of right now, Max Scherzer is getting a 10-game suspension. I hope everybody knows that. Lorenzo says that Scherzer will not appeal. But let's see what else is going on in the chat. What up, fellas? Called it on the A's moving. What are your thoughts, Sox, on the whole Max Scherzer thing?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I feel like pitchers necessarily have to use something, but the fact that they were clearly for a long time, and you hear former players talk about it a lot. They say they're okay with it. You know, I feel like I'm okay with it as a fan because it gives the pitchers more control, obviously, and just it provides some good baseball, I think. So I'm kind of against this whole 10-game things, especially if what he's saying is true and he's getting the okay from the MLB official. They said he didn't clean it well enough or whatever it is. And I don't know. 10 games seems like a lot for something like that, especially after they checked him.
I mean, to be fair, it is one start, but I don't know. There's a lot of interesting points that you could make up. MLB is so Pepsi drink that apparently it's causing them to suspend a legend. No, MH, no, you're never winning that battle with me. Disgruntled says it's the same crew that has made all 3 ejections that have occurred since they cracked down on foreign substances. I did not know that. So thank you for the comment. Good, my Huskies. Oh yeah, they're talking about some college b-ball, of course, with UConn and all that stuff. But do you think he's appealing? He's not appealing it because he knows he got caught. I mean, from what I know, he brought his kids into the whole thing, meaning like, you know, he swore on his kids or something that he didn't do it, or, you know, there wasn't like any illegal substances there. And it was interesting once again, because I know there's going to be that Yankee Met rhetoric where Domingo Germán a few days ago supposedly has some sort of a substance on his glove or on his hat, I believe. And they gave him formal instruction, and instead of throwing him out, and then Rocco Baldelli, the Twins manager, actually came out of the dugout, argued, and got tossed. So, I mean...
Yeah. I think Scherzer probably, he doesn't know that he got caught, perhaps, but I think it's just he's facing the facts that they said that he didn't clean it well enough, and there's nothing to appeal there. Like, it doesn't matter if it's just rosin or not. They said it was too much. So, and you said it yourself, it can be considered a foreign substance if it's too much.
I just don't know how you regulate too much. Like, obviously, you're not going to take a whole handful of rosin, but I mean, it's just you have to regulate that shit, or just say, okay, well, rosin and that's it.
Yeah, I agree.
And I think, honestly, that's what it should be at this point, because rosin is natural to baseball. Sweat is natural to baseball.
Yeah.
So, Joe obviously fucking around here, so he goes, hey, Luca. I don't blame Baldelli. That is not the pitcher who Germán is. I am amazed that Showalter didn't come back for Scherzer like you think a manager would. That's a good point. Surprised Scherzer he wasn't like as animated about the whole situation. But back to my argument is like, I think it should be rosin. I think it should be sweat, and that's it. Whatever else, just say, okay, we're not going to allow this. But then again, too, I mean, it comes to the whole thing where there's more responsibility on the umpires to do this, to do that, and whatever, and measure at some point. And we all know the umpires can't do simple tasks based on some other stuff. FYI, Alex Donaldson is back, processing back down. He is not back. The Yankees actually sent out something on Twitter, and I kind of questioned it. I'm not going to lie to you. That says the Yankees returned Josh Donaldson from his rehab assignment. That just means he's not playing in Somerset anymore. So he's still dealing with a hamstring injury. That's 2 starts. If he was innocent, he should have appealed. Yeah, definitely. Water on hands. I mean, you probably could feel water, though. Like, water is much different feeling than rosin and sweat. They said Donaldson was only around for treatment. I mean, as I said, the Yankees are an interesting one. The Yankees stressed us out a lot like last game. Last night's game was an interesting one. Judge obviously carried the team in the first inning, carried the team throughout the rest of the game, really. And then no offense until the 10th, bottom of the 10th, especially because Buck is more old school, bent. Boone went off during the Herman situation. Yeah, I mean, I was a little surprised in that, but I don't know, man. I mean, it just seems like a tricky situation. I know our buddy Angry John released a video for our members today, and he wasn't very happy about the whole Max Scherzer situation. In my opinion, if Herman was not tossed, Scherzer shouldn't be, and he shouldn't be suspended either. And that's speaking from an unbiased Yankee fan perspective. Any final thoughts on that matter?
No, I mean I agree. I it's got to be regulated, and I didn't know exactly what went on with Herman, but in Scherzer's case, I don't know if what he's saying is true exactly, but I agree. It's got to be something's got to be done about it. With all these other rule changes, I think they can figure it out.
Red Sox are so bad. Joe says,
Yeah,
is the Yanks outfield that bad? So the Yankees outfield is kind of interesting right now because you have Stanton on the IL. They just signed Cole Calhoun to a minor league deal. So I don't even I'm like ill to that. Frenchie Cordero, Isaiah Kiner Falefa, those guys are getting playing time. Calhoun is more of a DH at this point. It's not good. It's not good. Like your best two are probably fielding wise and hitting wise is Waldo Cabrera and Aaron Judge. But the Yankees are kind of gliding by. So it's kind of gonna be in the situation where it's just, they're gonna overachieve and then something's gonna hit them and they'll probably make a move. Scherzer is a cheater. I'm not of that belief. I'm gonna be completely honest with you, Joe. He is Mad Max. He is a different animal. I didn't like him last year during the whole situation with the union and the whole lockout, but I don't think he's a cheater. But then again, he also did not appeal. You think you think the A's will start rebuilding the roster now that they have a future home secured? That's a good question. I think they'll start to make moves. I mean, half
it's
of their
gonna take a
team is
while.
creative players. It's going to take a while. That's right. I don't know if anyone saw their game against the Mets. Um, Probably not, but the A's walked Mets batters, I think it was like 15 times. Like it was a complete blowout. I remember Angry John was over and we were just laughing at the TV because I'm like, this is just but yeah, half their team is creative players. And it's kind of sad though, because you have those loyal fans in Oakland. You got that shit stadium that they let it deteriorate. And was it ever like this great ballpark? No. But at the same time, I mean, you have the loyal fans in Oakland. Remember last year we were I think it was after the All-Star break. They had a saw as the national anthem instrument. You remember
Yeah.
that?
Oh my god. I thought I would never have to think about that again. That was horrible.
That was completely horrible. And then you had somebody getting a blowy in the upper deck, I think it was.
Yeah.
And the latest edition was a possum was living in the broadcast booth. I mean, just nuts, man. Just absolutely
This is some
nuts.
Washington Commander shit right there.
It is like, I think the next thing was just having like the pipes of the fecal matter kind of like
Yeah.
go on you. Wouldn't want that. Ian Hamilton was using the rosin bag when he was on the mountain, but nothing was said about it or regulated. What's the difference? I don't know. I think MLB and the umpires and all that sort of stuff is just like picking and choosing at this point. Like, what's
Yeah,
a
they
high
got
leverage
favorites.
game? What's a high leverage situation? I mean, when Ian Hamilton came in, I think the Yankees were up something like 3 runs, maybe even more than that. So I think once again, they're just picking their situations, high leverage matchups, all that, guys. We got 10 people watching. Let's get those likes up a little bit, of course. Calhoun is an easy DFA if needed. Yeah, true. Let's see. No way Herman has a dominant outing without sticky stuff. I mean, as I said, I don't think he's cheating. I could be very wrong though. I still can't get over the fact the same umpire crew was responsible for all the.
Yeah.
They got to review. I mean, they probably won't review the crew. The smart thing would be to review the crew, but I mean, I don't know. Before we get to the next question, Sox. What are your thoughts now that we're probably 3 weeks into baseball? Thoughts on this pitch clock?
Yeah, I'm definitely more used to it. I think mentioned a few weeks ago that I thought I would be. I've been to a couple games, and it feels better in person than it does watching on TV. I feel like the games just fly by when you're on TV. When you're watching on TV, I miss being able to go do something and come back and watch the end of the game. That's no longer a thing, but I like it. I like the games are going a little quicker.
Yeah, there's a little as much as I don't like it, there's a little bit more of a action, if you will, in the game, and also kind of benefits us, benefits Garrett Cole because he's been probably one of the best, if not the best pitcher in the MLB thus far. Can Judge be as marketable to the MLB as LeBron is to the NBA? I don't think yet. I personally am for the fact that Aaron Judge might be one of the best, maybe top 3 best players in MLB right now. Because,
Yeah,
I mean, last night was an interesting one where he robbed Shohei Ohtani of a home run. And then in the bottom half of the inning, he hits a 2-run shot to pick up his team. You don't see
yeah.
Shohei doing that. You don't see Mike Trout doing that. So there's that. And I mean, he kind of started right where he left off last season. So you can make the argument he could be the best, one of the best in that
He's
area.
definitely he's definitely a top 3 player in the MLB right now. I think that the marketing aspect they don't really do as much of a good job. And LeBron James is the face of the NBA for a long, long time. Like Mike Trout isn't even there at this point, and he's arguably the greatest player in the last decade or so. So I don't know that comparison's a little far, but I agree. Judge is an absolute stud. He really is.
Yeah, I mean, to go off of that, the MLB, we talked about it several times. I think this was a few weeks ago, probably our last show, with the marketing aspect. They don't know how to market well, video games, new fans, all these different things. But he could he be the face of baseball?
Yes,
I could say
absolutely.
yes. He needs to. I think there's a lot of still Otani homers out there, and I'm not saying Otani's not a generational player, but it's because he plays 2 positions.
Yankees need to win a championship. That's the bottom line.
That's yes. They need to go further than you know than they usually do. Sox. What is going on with the Sox?
I mean, it's not bad from the offensive standpoint, and a lot of guys are stepping up right now, especially with the optimism of Trevor Story coming back. But the starting pitching is in shambles right now. I hate that Nick Pivetta is so unreliable. The Red Sox give up the most runs in the first inning by far in the MLB. So I think the starting pitching needs some work. But Chris Sale had a nice start. Tanner Houck got his 3rd win today. His ERA is still a little high, but it's getting crowded in that rotation. But it definitely needs some work.
Has Corey Kluber ironed out since his opening day disaster?
No, I mean it doesn't get really as bad as it did on opening day. He did have a good start there in the middle. I think it was against the Angels, but his last start was just as bad as probably the first one. He's giving up home runs left and right, just like Sale is on his fastball. Those fastballs are getting hit all over the yard. I don't know what they're going to do about it.
So who would you say right now is your best starter?
I mean, Tanner Houck's 3-0, so it's got to be him.
Definitely. Once Bader comes back, I think Willie Calhoun will be a DFA'd. 7 in 1 inning, I think it was. How big of a deal is it that we haven't lost a series yet? I mean, I'm not gonna get too dug into the Kool-Aid because we saw what happened last year. They went on this historic start, and then the flaws just outpoured in the second half. But it's good to acknowledge. I think they could have won more games had management not done some stupid shit. Aaron Boone pinch hitting for Frenchie Cordero against the Orioles. Let's see, what was it? Clay Holmes in the 8th versus the Twins. So there's a lot of decisions you could say, okay, well, the Yankees could actually be, I think they're in 2nd right now. They might be actually in 3rd. They're in 2nd right now, so they are 4 games back from the Rays, and the Rays kind of took a little downturn ever since their 12-0 start, 13-0 start,
13.
which honestly caught me by surprise because I thought the Rays were going to be 2nd, 3rd, maybe even 4th place. But I think there's a lot of different guys on that team that are making a noise.
Something crazy was that they're there for a second 8-5 or 9-5 had you 8 games out of the division or something like that. I'm like, wow, that's bad.
Yeah. But yeah, I would take stock into this, but I would also take it with grain of salt, Lorenzo. It was James Caprillion. Yes, Caprillion sucked that day. I remember. Caprillion was the one who started against the Mets, and he was referring to the walks and one inning. Yeah, no, just terrible. Mets suck. They're going to be a wild card team. Yeah, I mean, listen, they won the series against the Dodgers, but the Dodgers themselves right now, I think they're in second place. They're 9-10. Their division is not very good. It's being led by the D-backs out of all teams. And then the
Yeah,
Padres
go
are
Snakes.
9-11, which I'm kind of surprised at, knowing. Well, actually, am I surprised? Because the Padres were supposed to be really good last year. I mean, they were, but they didn't make it to the World Series kind of like I wanted, expected. So, you're very funny, Joe. Very funny. What, in the bathroom in Oakland? Yeah, I've
Yeah.
not been. I've not made any trips to the West Coast.
Yeah.
I must have a doppelganger. The Mets went out and spent the most money, and they're not playing good. I mean, the Mets are playing. It's not like outstanding baseball. They're what 12-7, which is the Yankees' same record. So, I mean, you could still have misgivings. Both teams are playing well, but next is Tampa. The Mets are playing good. LOL. I think 5 runs. The stadium is terrible. Nuts with a dude busting a nut in the top deck. I mean, to be fair, I think there was a pile of birds in the one Oakland game I was watching. I want to say it was against the Mets, and there was more birds there than people in the top deck. So I just want to point that out. Did you see? Yes, I think Sox. We were talking about at the beginning where Malcolm Brogdon won the six-man
Yes, sir.
award. And I didn't even know that. As I said, I don't know why. Phil Cuzzy is an attention seeker. 4-1 Rangers, absolutely. I remember I was watching the game before this. Yep, covered this one. Y'all streaming solo tomorrow night. Before I go forward, obviously with the whole show and whatnot. Want to give out a couple of streaming updates. So tomorrow we will have the Friday Night Knicks show at 8. Well, it's not really Friday Night Knicks. It's Knicks in the Mix. Rename the podcast. Heading into the game at 8:30. Saturday, probably nothing. Sunday, 1 p.m. Knicks stream. Then we got the Mets San Francisco Giants game at, I think it's at 7, I want to say. So there's that. And I might be going on the Walk-Off podcast to discuss some stuff with our fellow Jays fan and friend Scott Belford. Mondays, Boys in the Big Apple. Tuesdays, the Giants draft preview. The overall NFL draft preview is going to be on Wednesday, and then streams Thursday through Saturday for the NFL draft, and Sunday will be the call-in show. So just a couple of streaming updates, and I know Sox and I were talking, and I think Sox is getting back into the game a little bit with the whole Big Beat Reactions thing, by the way, in the description, guys. So Shohei, absolutely he can be, referring to obviously the whole conversation about being the face. 92-89 Brooklyn. Yeah, I saw that foul that was James Harden committed, and then he got ejected. But the NFL is the NFL. Jesus Christ, the NBA is kind of soft. Judge needs the title so he could be the face of the MLB. It's exactly true. Red Sox are better than expected.
I would agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
Their offense is keeping them in games.
And we said this about the NFC East this year for a little bit of time, and right now the whole AL East is above 500.
Yeah,
500 or above at least. So the Red Sox are 10-10, the Jays are 11-8, the Orioles are 11-7, the Yankees are 12-7, and the Rays are 16-3. So fun. Hot take: if I'm Jason Dominguez, oh god, can't wait to read this one. Or Spencer Jones to request a trade. I mean, you can't request a trade in the minor leagues. You have to be in the majors. And what leverage do you have? You're touted as a top prospect. I don't know how you don't get this by now, but come on, you cannot request a trade in the minor leagues. You literally have no leverage. And I get your point about Brian Cashman, but they have not played. So what leverage? Again, how many Jamie Gillen games? Yeah, the Yankees have punted about 3, I would say. Pirates are 13-7. They're surprisingly good.
Yeah.
Surprisingly. D-backs are a good team. Shouts to Crackle Nuts. What's going on? The Blue Jays series is a big test coming up for us. I will be at Saturday's game. I will be at Saturday's game, so it's going to be all fun and games.
Nice.
We need Spencer Jones and Dominguez up this year. Calhoun, Hicks need to be gone. I don't think Spencer Jones will come up. I think Dominguez probably has that better shot. Let me see how he's doing in the minor leagues real quickly. Jason Dominguez. I know my cousins went to go to Somerset to go see him. Okay, he's not hitting that well. He's hitting 081 home run, 3 RBIs. And I think Spencer Jones is hitting better than him, but we still have time to see what these guys pan out to be. Let's see. Here we go. Saturday, nothing. Fuck you. Alex SoX. Christ almighty. I cannot talk today.
No,
I cannot talk.
I would not touch him. Mad Bum is washed.
No. Did you see what happened yesterday?
No, tell me.
So him and what was it? Wilson Contreras. They kind of got into an emotional argument from the mound, and I don't know, but I think that maybe that's why he was designated for a sign. I'm like, okay, so Wilson Contreras, accomplished career. I think he's got a World Series under his belt. Mad Bum, I think he's got 1 or 2. But Mad Bum should just shut the fuck up. And to all the people that like want Mad Bum there's like some people out there that want Mad Bum on the Yankees. No, I would stick with the rotation we have. Let's look at Mad Bum's record.
You know how many bombs he would give up in that stadium? Oh my god, it would be like that.
He'd give up like 3 a game, and I would be done with him after 1 start.
That's BP.
It is BP. Let's see. 0-3, 10.26 ERA, 4 games started, 10 strikeouts in total. And that's what? 10 strikeouts in 4 games.
Corey Kluber's worse.
Corey Kluber's worse?
I think he's 0-4. I think his ERA is like almost 9. So it's about the same, but yeah.
Yeah, about the same. Let's see. Are you ready for draft week? Who do you want in the first round? I want that center out of Minnesota by the name of John Michael Schmitz. But I wouldn't touch Mad Bum with a 10-foot pole. Will you be doing some Red Sox games at some point? Just asking.
I'll say this. If the over-under was me doing a game this year, I'll take the over with my life.
Okay, all right. It's pronounced Shohei. Yup. LMAO Alex, minor leaguer requesting a trade. LI, use your brain for better things. Alex and Sox, I think JMS might be our guy at 25. Manoah versus Cole. That's again, I didn't even look up the marquee matchup. Obviously, I didn't in Saturday's game, but that's what it looks like it's going to be. It's going to be Manoah versus Cole. And Manoah's pitched like shit this year, though. Yeah. Let's take a look at his record. I believe he's pitching at like a 6 ERA. Right now, he is 1-1, 6.98, 4 games started, 16 strikeouts. That's 4 strikeouts a game. That's awful. 2 in opposing batting average of 288. So if the Yankees don't hit him, I don't know. We don't need Mad Bum. Got plenty of resources coming ASAP. What trade targets do you think the Yankees will look at or would go certain position-wise or certain players? Outfield and starters. If you want a veteran pitcher who can give you depth, Brad Keller from the Royals. I have heard his name. I know obviously there was that other guy that Scott Barlow we were talking about last year. But Keller seems decent, 2-2, 3 ERA, 4 games, 18 strikeouts. But I don't know. I feel like there's better options. My focus is bullpen. Joe gonna be cooking Big Mac Manoah on Saturday. Yeah, Joe, get your fucking tickets. And go to the game. Don't be a lazy ass if you're still in the chat. But just an ordinary question, obviously. I've looked up some averages and I've read some reports, Sox. Well, first off, let me start off with Masataka Yoshida. How is he seeing the ball lately?
Yeah, I think the adjustment is going to take a while for him, and he's seeing the ball a little bit better lately. But let me pull it up with him. Yoshida's hitting 189 this season with 581 OPS. The biggest positive in his game right now is his feel for the strike zone. Like, he's not chasing pitches. He's chase rate is 18.6%. The league average is 27.7. Part of that's because he's not swinging. 40% of the pitches he's seen, he's swinging at less than 40%. So that's like up with Muncy and a bunch of picky hitters in the MLB. So I like that he's seeing the feel. He's trying to get the feel for the ball, but He's not hitting very well, 189. I think it's going to come with time, but the rotation here with, Yu Chang taking a leave of absence with paternity, and then Christian Arroyo not swinging a hot stick, it's going to move things around. He'll be all right eventually.
Sox, how is Whitlock? We have not seen him pitch this year yet.
Yeah. I mean, Whitlock's on the road. I think with Winkowski stinking it up and Brazier with being inconsistent, we're going to see Whitlock a lot sooner than we thought. But the starting rotation is key right now. That's for sure.
Surprised he wouldn't be used. I mean, last year they used him a lot like a starter, but I guess we haven't seen.
Yeah, it was the different. It was like a question between him and Houck last year, and I think Houck is pitching really well. He's earned his spot in the rotation, and the Sox are going to try to do 6-man rotation, so there's plenty of room.
The tickets are pretty cheap for Game 4, Jacob, and I think the next game for the Nets is on like Sunday, and I was thinking about going, but like, you know what? Nah, I'm not gonna go. But how about a closer, or do you want to use one of our guys? It's for the Yankees. David Bednar is like one name that comes to mind, or Felix Bautista is someone else mentioned. Other than that, I mean, you probably just use your own guys. The Yankees haven't had much luck coming out of left field with all these different pitchers and whatnot for a closer. Aroldis Chapman was a short-lived experiment. Doesn't look like Clay Holmes is working out to the finest extent, unfortunately. So, there is that. How about Jarren Duran? I think he's hitting somewhere in the 300s. Obviously, we're very down on him coming into the year.
I think that he's matured a lot and is really showing us that he doesn't want to get sent down. I think he's keeping that as motivation because he's on the fence there for a while of a guy that wants to be on this roster or not. And he didn't end last year well at all, but he's seeing the ball well and running the bases aggressive. I like it a lot. He's a good addition to the outfield, making plays in center field. And we're not going to see the same shenanigans that we did last year, which was really, to say I was down on him was an understatement. But, I'm back on the Duran train.
Good to hear, at least on your sake. Jacob says Sevy is closer. I mean, he could. Aroldis Chapman, just to throw out a comparison here, did start out as a starter, and then they moved him to a closer. But I don't know. I feel like Sevy still has good starter stuff, just when he's not injured. So I don't know. I mean, yeah, you'd probably be in a situation where he pitches less games. That way he doesn't get too injured. But again, what do I know? Holmes' sinker is moving too much left and right and not enough up and down. Yeah, no, that makes sense. It's not as, sinking as it should be. It's not as breaking as it should be. It keeps his innings down, and he might be coming. He's an upcoming free agent next year. Might as well try. Yeah, get are Yankee fans stupid? Like, why propose Sevy the bullpen? I mean, it's not a totally out of left field idea. It's not. He's got a lot of pitches. You kind of sink down on those pitches. So, I mean, I don't think it's a terrible idea. Just my opinion. But guys, keep your questions coming in the chat, comments, and all that sort of good stuff. By the way, the Nets and Devils pretty much crashed. As I'm reading in one of the group chats I'm in, the Devils losing, and I think the Nets just lost, even though they had the James Harden, they kind of go their side. So just putting it out there.
The Nets will Nets.
The
Nets will Nets.
The Nets will Nets. Phil Hughes was great in the pen. I could see Sevy doing it, but I don't know if it's time yet. There was one year, I think it was 2016, where Sevy started off like 1-5, 1-6 as a starter, and then he went to like 3-8 after being a bullpen arm. So not bad. I don't have those stats on me at the moment, but that's something potentially you could look into. Someone who's, you could shorten his innings, or he could be kind of like that Chad Green type, even though I kind of don't like Chad Green. Shouts to Armand in the chat. What is up, Armand? And shouts to Armand, man. He got to meet Adam Sandler a few days ago over at a convention And wait, that's right. You're not a fan of Adam
Hey,
Sandler's
good for
movies.
you, Armin. That's awesome. I respect the hell out of Sandler, especially because he's a baller. Shows up in his polos and shorts and balls out community parks.
Phil Hughes' velocity went up when he went in the pen too. Yeah, that's a good point. Johnny Burrito's pitching good for us, but Clark Schmidt's not doing good. Clark Schmidt can get the fuck out of here. Clark Shit is my new name. And I was a big Clark Schmidt fan coming into this year because I'm like, well, it's just one start. And no, he's completely disappointed me. We need to try something. Holmes is not the closer. No, he's not. And he can't even be in these situations, where, again, the eighth inning, like, that's not a good role for him, in my opinion, because you're switching from the eighth to the ninth with him. But I don't know, man. Just fix something. You stole that nickname from Eric Kratz because Eric Kratz and Scott Braun were on Game Season for NYY News TV. Of course, Kratz being a former baseball player, Scott Braun formerly of MLB Network. But yeah. So did he call him Clark? I'm pretty sure that was Pete's name for him, Clark Shit. But anyway,
I'm sure that's not the first time he's heard that in his life.
No, and it probably won't be the last, depending on where he goes. Alex and Sox, which is more likely, the Giants trade up or trade back? If we trade up, I think it's for a wide receiver or a corner. If we trade back, it'd probably be JMS.
I feel like they'd trade back, if anything.
I'd rather trade back. I mean, was it likely to do? I think the Giants probably trade back. In my opinion, they probably trade back rather than trade up. But I could see. I don't think they'll trade up for a corner. They'll trade up for a wide receiver.
I could see that. I think they won't trade. They won't trade in the first round. That's for sure.
They'll stay pat. And as far as trading, again, your argument is absolutely irrelevant. LI, in terms of trading DJ LeMahieu, like, you say you don't hate him, you clearly do. This guy is valuable to us, and we could argue semantics. I mean, right now they have the same batting average, but I'm just not going to entertain that. Let's see, Philly up 3-0. That live stream was crazy, and meeting Sandler, I was starstruck, and they met a couple of Jets players as well. I think Mark Gastineau was on that list, Richard Todd. I'm blanking out. I think Wayne Corbett as well. So they went to this Jets signing. I think it was in Long Island, Hampstead, Long Island. But what do the Mets need to get to the World Series? Well, they got to stop playing easy out Escobar. Let's see who else. They need some production from the catcher position. I don't know how your defense is, most likely, MH. You probably have to ask good old Angry John about it. But they also need some production from the starters. McGill shit the bed the last start. Scherzer obviously got ejected. That's a whole different story. Carlos Carrasco's on the IL. So I'd probably say you need to straighten that lineup out with maybe one or two hitters, whether it be Beatty or Vientos coming up at some point, or just straightening out that catcher position, maybe a few bullpen arms. Our mock draft from earlier tonight was fun. Yep, my brother actually made an appearance on it. Kevin Mowai, that's one of the guys I missed. Boston Red Sox. If Sox were in the Central, they'd be in second place. No, they'd be in third. Because you got the Twins, you got the Guardians, and then you got the Sox. And also, the Yankees and the Sox now have something in common, where they both got their asses kicked in one game by the Minnesota Twins.
Yeah.
So there's that. The West. So yeah, they would be in second place. And the Texas Rangers are 12-6. So yeah. Interesting. They did just call up Brett Beatty. They did. But he needs to play more and all that stuff. Trade fucking Glaber. He's got to go instead of DJ. Fuck you and your Glaber fetish, I'll lie. Listen, I gave Glaber Torres flowers when he was hitting really well. But I also stayed on a stationary train. I never said that Glaber should not have been traded. I was kind of thinking maybe we should trade Peraza, but I'm sorry. I knew Glaber would come back down to earth. We were at the Max Center at Hofstra. Interesting. Why are the Red Sox still in Boston? I mean, why wouldn't they be in Boston?
I was thinking about, like, if one of our teams were to leave, it'd probably be the Red Sox over the Yankees. I'd just say that.
Yeah, I mean, we're not the
just because
Mets.
ownership is fucked up.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Did you see that thing? What was it? MLB is proposing a team. No, there's a group of owners, group of people that
Utah?
are proposing for an MLB team in Salt Lake City.
Yeah, I saw that.
What do you think of that?
I don't think the money is there.
That's exactly my problem.
But I mean, I feel like it's an underrated city. It's an underrated area. It's a beautiful country out there. My sister lives in Utah, so she's like, "Oh my god, I heard the MLB's going to put a team here." I'm like, hold your horses. I don't know about that.
I was about to say,
It'd be cool.
don't bite your lip yet.
But if you add one team, you got to add two teams.
Yeah, you can't just be uneven. Like, I mean, This is not, what was it, a few years ago before the Astros switched to the American League, you had, no, hold on, I'm trying to think. Do math here.
5 in one division.
I'm trying to think off the top of my head. So we have 30 teams split that into 15. So you had 16 in one and then the 14 in the other.
Yeah.
And the Astros were part of the Central. They weren't a part of the West. But, I mean, just like the general issue with tanking and stuff like that, already puts the MLB at a bad odds for a reputation. Why add more teams?
Yeah, true.
I mean, yeah, money, but you're also going to lose more money. Just a Greg in the chat. Not having Beatty and Alvarez in tonight's lineup is total bullshit and criminal. Let's see what the Mets lineup looks like. I believe they face the Giants. They start out a series against the San Francisco Mets, as Angry John would say. So, yeah, you do have Easy Out Escobar, who's hitting 120, by the way. 1-2-0.
I'm kind of changing my mind on the whole Utah thing. I feel like it's a lot like Arizona, and there's a lot of people that play baseball out there. There might be a good supporting cast.
Really?
I really think there might be some fans out there.
Okay.
They put on for the Jazz. That place is packed out for Utah Jazz games.
I think baseball has less of a good reputation.
Appeal. Yeah.
Less of an appeal to people. Like, I mean, NBA sells more, and it's going to take like stupid time too, because you put a team out there, then you got to do an expansion draft. And then, this is not like the Florida Marlins where like they spawned in, what was it, 93? They win a championship 4 years later. Yeah. Same thing kind of happens with the Diamondbacks, the Rockies. I mean, I think they spawned in 93. I don't know. I think it's going to take a while. And I feel like MLB will be trying to get money that they don't have to kind of build that up. But what do I know? And also, off topic, how do you feel about the Commanders being sold?
I think it's a good move for Snyder. I think he's probably finally getting tired of being the most hated man in the world, and he's just like, let me get this done. $6 billion's a lot, but is it Bezos that's going to buy it?
Let's look that up.
I thought Bezos, or they said Bezos would be
said he was
okay
interested
to be in the run or something like
Josh Harris, who is I believe he's the owner of the 76ers, and Magic Johnson.
Are they buying it?
That's what it looks like. Let's see. Let's mute this tab.
I saw Magic Johnson saying that he's like, I got a ring in the other sports. Now I got to get my hands in football.
Yeah. So, yep, it looks like Magic Johnson and Josh Harris will be those ones, obviously. And also billionaire Mitchell Rails. I have no idea who that is.
Do they rename themselves, do you think?
I think that'd be a smart idea. I think would be a better idea is you get out of that fucking trash stadium or you fix it up.
Yes.
Because, I mean, I know there's several people I know that went to FedEx Field, did this, that, and the other. But, like, the shit coming down from the pipes.
Yeah.
The crack pipes. I mean, that's not ideal. The shit that happened.
Guardrail.
The guardrail with the Jalen Hurts incident. I think it was like
that could have killed somebody.
Exactly. So, I mean, you might just need to get a new stadium. So,
yeah.
Well,
it's kind of sad that we're seeing that because eventually this team and franchise is going to make a run, and that just makes it more difficult for the New York Giants. So,
they can take their time.
Please
time.
do.
Please
do.
If you want to win a championship, please just do it after I'm dead. That's all I'll ask. Do it after I'm dead.
Yeah, true.
Did you? Luca did the mock draft earlier tonight. It was on the Jets Turbulence channel. The Yanks are fine. Yeah, they are fine for right now. Must have missed that stream. Alex Glaber needs to stop swinging the first pitch so damn much. Yeah, he's a guy that, in my opinion, lacks baseball IQ. What was it? 2 runners on yesterday, and he swings the first pitch. That's a slider, like at the top of the strike zone. He pops it up, and it's from a new pitcher too. Like it's not even from this. Like you don't swing there. That's my problem.
Guys try to get, it's like that mental game where it's like, I'm going to jump on this guy first pitch, make him pay for throwing this high slider, and he's going to be shook for the rest of his outing. But it doesn't really pay off a lot of the time. Kike Hernandez is like that.
Yeah. So let's quiz everybody, right? Let's quiz everybody. Now, some people that were in the chat last night, probably like Lorenzo know. Jacob probably knows. But let's see, all right? So the pitcher's name was Carlos Estevez, who pitched for the Angels. Which actor has that name? But he's under a different name.
You're asking the wrong guy here.
Let's see if the chat gets it. We're going to throw a little curveball to the chat. Let's see who gets it. I have a feeling someone from yesterday's stream is going to shout it out. Jacob is right. It's Charlie Sheen.
These Warriors jerseys are sick, by the way.
Charlie Sheen.
Okay.
Is the one. So, you guys, I have a feeling because Lorenzo said I'll keep quiet. So I guess he kind of had it. Trade Glaber. Some reason they decided to. I get your point, Li, but like Glaber needs to make those adjustments too. Like he's not programmed. He's not a robot. He doesn't go beep boop. Peraza at second, trade for a third baseman or depth guy at the position because DJ can't play every day. How would I deal with that? I mean, yeah, you could trade. I was on the train for trading for J-Ram about 2 years ago. And I said, you know what? If we're going to upgrade from Urshela, it better be J-Ram. But obviously, I didn't get that. Baseball in Utah. Wow. Yeah, I don't think it's going to happen. Hold your cannoli. Utah also has a basketball team, so why not? As I said, I just don't think it has the same appeal. If DJ can't play every day, why the fuck do we keep him? Why again? Where are you, Li? Like, remove the Glaber glasses. Thank you. Are there any minor league teams in Utah? Salt Lake City Bees. I think that's their name. They play for the Angels.
Also, I think the marketing with other, like the Utah's big with college football and obviously the Jazz. I think, the whole other team supporting the new baseball team and all that would help out too.
But it's also kind of a different standard, Sox, because you think about it this way, right? Alabama goes fucking nuts for college football. I mean, it's reasonable, right? They're in Tuscaloosa. They do their thing, whatever, right?
And baseball, college baseball too.
College baseball, yeah. I mean, I don't really think too much about Alabama when it comes to college baseball, but you take a look at, Utah. I mean, obviously, I'm not too much into the team, but, they have a football team in terms of college football. Would now set yourself in this mindset. Do you think the NFL would ever consider, this is kind of a same but similar, but also different question. Do you think the NFL would ever consider putting a team in Alabama?
No.
Exactly. So that's kind of my argument there, because as much as traction you could probably get for like Salt Lake City and some of these smaller towns or whatever, you're probably not going to get a good marketing standpoint from a major league team in Salt Lake City.
I can see that.
And to be completely fair, guys, I'm gonna ask this question. Sox, you're free to answer, of course. Where's that second team going?
Would it be like Montreal?
I think they tried that and they ran from that. Where would you put that second team?
Where would you put that second team?
Well,
it can't be Ohio. It can't be Can't
I'm
be
not
anywhere
putting a
in New
team in
England.
Nashville because that's A, more of a football thing. B, they already have the Nashville Sounds, or they got rid of them. I forget what happened to them. Let's see.
Can't be Louisiana.
No, they would fail. Nashville Sounds. Yeah, they are the AAA affiliate for the Milwaukee Brewers.
San Antonio.
I don't think there's. I feel like there's a minor league team or was in San Antonio, but I don't get the appeal. The problem is baseball has already fucked up their marketing.
Yeah, true.
Not playing. Well, I mean, you know. Let's see what else. Volpe is a leadoff guy in the minors. What order you place him to see best fit? He'll eventually work out as the leadoff guy. If not, probably ninth. But I think he'll rise above the order. Bezos not buying. I'm going to star this question and come back to it. Of course, I want to see what everybody's. OKC is a minor league team too. They have. What the fuck is their team? Oklahoma City. They're a minor league team.
I can't think of it. It's something. Isn't it something strange though?
Oklahoma City baseball. The Oklahoma City Dodgers. So, I mean, that's not too. I'm talking. He will be a utility guy, and DJ can play 140 games, but you need depth guys to give a day off. Yeah, no, I agree. It's the Dodgers. Yeah, we were thinking way too strange, way too off the ball. Bama basketball is getting there too. Oklahoma City is a basketball team.
True.
Doesn't mean they would be a good baseball city. That's a good point. Let's see. My brother was Mighty Ducks. Mighty Ducks. Are you talking about? Is there a team called the Mighty Ducks? Maybe I'm not getting the. Arizona just released the new uniforms. Oh God, I don't like the Cardinals as is because I think
really? I think I knew that actually.
Yeah, I have a very much. I don't have a hatred. It's just like they annoy me. Let's see these new unis. Okay, so their away unis looks like Utah.
They do. The home doesn't look like it changed that much.
That
I don't love
I'm
that.
not a fan.
I don't love that.
No, I don't. It's they literally probably just changed the font.
I like the alternate. I love black.
And if it's
I love
home, why is there no Cardinals thing? Like, if it makes sense that, like, for instance, the Yankees, when they go on the road, they wear New York. When they're at home, they have the they have the fucking Yankee pinstripe.
Same as the Red Sox
Yankees logo. Why do you need to kind of reassert yourself that you're Arizona's team? And then the alternate that didn't change.
I like the alternate. It didn't change much, but I'm a big fan when teams go all black. And you might disagree, but I want the Giants to have a black jersey. I just think that would be the fucking sickest thing in the world, man. I really do.
I think they should just stay with the throwback jerseys.
I agree. I like I like the old red ones. I like the red ones.
Someone told me, now maybe this isn't true, that they didn't win a lot in those.
True. Yes, they were bad in them, but
were they worse in the white ones?
For the weren't they like 0-8 in their first 8 games with the color red jerseys? Everybody.
I actually went to the one game they won in them. So you have 16, they lost against the Eagles. 17, they lost against the Cowboys. 18 lost against the Eagles. 19 lost against the Cowboys. Yeah. 20 lost against the Bucks. That's 0-5. Right now we're going on 6, so that's 20. 21, they wore it for 2 games. Was that?
Did they play against the Chiefs in them?
No. They played against the Bucks in them.
Twice.
Played against the Eagles in them, which is their win, and I was there. And then the last one was against the Cowboys, so they were 1-7. 1-7. And it's a shame because I like those unis too, but if it's not good luck, it's not good luck. Yeah. I mean, maybe I just need to be there every time. Hate the red jerseys because we lose all the time in them. Is MLB missing the personality they once had the 80s and 90s? Is anyone a true villain? Is anyone a fan favorite anymore? Again, the steroid era is over. They don't really have something that could rejuvenate what that era was. they're kind of shitting on the fact that that's what got them, the recognition in the 90s, because people out of nowhere just used to watch games. People used to turn on the TV, not knowing what baseball is, but then Sammy Sosa was on the TV, Mark McGwire, fucking Rafael Palmeiro, Barry Bonds, all these different guys. But, hey, what do I know? I would have liked the Cards jersey, red jersey name, and the numbers in black. I think that'd be an interesting experiment. She has Angry John in the chat. He goes, "Let's go
What's up, John?
Rangers." Alex dropping the cell. Nutcase. Emilio Estevez, Charlie Sheen's brother. He was the coach in Mighty Ducks. Oh, all right. We're talking about Charlie Sheen. But let's see. Hey, Sox, en route to the show. I was drafted by the Red Sox and finished the season 72 and 90.
I can't wait because this is one of the first years this is the first year that I didn't buy the show right off the bat. I'm gonna wait for it to drop in price just because I don't even have time anymore. But Road to the Show is a blast. I think MLB The Show has the best Road to the Show type game mode out of all the major ones.
Now let me ask you a question, and I think you have a next gen, what's considered a next gen console. Have you ever done Stadium Creator?
Yes, we talked about it a little bit. I forgot when, but it just takes a long time. But it's so cool the amount of things you can do. Like, for example, I love putting random high walls and just playing online with them. And people get pissed off when they hit a supposed home run and it hits your huge wall out in center field.
It'd be funny as hell if you have your lineup constructed of all righties,
yes,
and then they have all lefties, and then they're just the wall is there.
Exactly.
It's kind of like what they did with the Orioles park.
Yeah, true.
NFL draft is like Christmas for me. I don't mind franchise either. Favorite game ever? Does this mean all games? That's a tough one. I'm going to star this one as well. Look out for Andre Jackson. Yep, you did mention that as a name. He is a god of an athlete. Might jump himself in the first round, just declared while maintaining college eligibility. Don't know if y'all saw the max ejection, but that was a load of bullshit.
I agree.
I agree too. I agree. Favorite draft to watch? Yep, the NFL draft, is the most exciting by far. Yeah. Let's see. What's the best place to sit at a Red Sox game?
Unfortunately, I don't know. I've never been to Fenway.
Well, I've never been to Fenway. Sox has never been to Fenway. We hope to make that trip maybe next year. But that's a good question. I don't
probably on top of the Monster.
I would say on top of the Monster. Obviously maybe by the baselines and whatnot, but also right field. You get an easy ground rule double.
Yeah.
So it's ground rule double central.
I think right by Pesky Pole would be the ideal situation.
Would be the ideal spot. My favorite game of all time is God of War. My favorite game of all time. And I've stopped, I haven't played legit video games in a while. I don't have that addiction anymore. I'm so focused with school. I'm so focused with content creating. MVP Baseball 2005 would probably be on that list. MLB 2K would be on that list. Madden, it's fun, but it's also very fucked because the way EA portrays it. So that's my answer to this. Sox, how would you answer it?
I wish Madden was, I see gameplay of other games that are just so much better and more smooth. I don't know why they just continue to put out the same game, but Madden's fun. I enjoy it. I literally have just played sports games my whole life, so I'll go with MLB The Show.
Yeah. And then also there's top 5 Yankee players of all time you like, and top 5 Red Sox players. So my number 1 would be Mark Teixeira. My number 2 would be Andy Pettitte. Then it'd be Nick Swisher. And then I have 2 more I have to think about.
My number 1 would be Big Papi. My number 2, probably Pedro. Number 3, probably John Lester. Number 4, Mookie Betts.
I'd probably say number 4 is Tino Martinez. And number 5 probably for me, Jorge Posada. That's my top 5.
5 would be Veritek.
Okay. Let's see. I wish Madden had a real road to the show like thing. I forget what they call. I think they call it franchise, not franchise, but it's like I forget the name. It's so stupid.
It's
Love
called
Osama.
fuck, I can't think of it. It sucks though. It's horrible.
I heard it sucks. I wish they would come out with a new modern Golden Eye game. Have you guys ever caught a ball at a baseball game? The closest I got, and I'll write a story off of this, is we were at a Rail Riders game for my birthday. This was 2013, so you'd imagine the lineups they came out with. I'm actually gonna, because I'm like, you know what? Let's pull this out. So August 18th, 2013. The amount of schmucks that were on that team. And my uncle caught a ball. It was a line drive. It was right at him. And then he decided to throw it to me because obviously it was my birthday party. I don't know where that ball is right now. But also, he was at a Yankees game at old Yankee Stadium, and he went to the bathroom, and boom, a home run hits right off his seat. So that's
The only story I have about that is we went to see the Sox in 2019, I believe, opening day in Arizona, and Ketel Marte hit a home run the day after we were there. Hit a home run directly to the exact seat I was sitting in.
yeah. So let's see what this lineup looked like for. Okay, so here we are. Let's see. Let's see how many of you guys remember these names. So we got Brent Lillibridge, David Adams, Melky Mesa, Dan Johnson, former Ray, by the way. I think his name is Randy Ruiz, J.R. Murphy, Rodney Mistelier, Adonis Garcia, and Brendan Harris. Then for the Iron Pigs, it was Pete Orr, Freddie Galvis, Susdorf, Overbeck. Don't even know who that is. Henson, I know. I believe that's Cesar Hernandez, who is now obviously a good baseball player. Castro, LaRude, and then I forget the Gillies guy. I forget his name. I don't know, but just some names to throw out there. Shout out to Jesper Smith in the chat. What is going on, man? Yes, heard about the Eagles hiring Matt Patricia. I think that's odd, honestly, because they hated each other, meaning Patricia and Darius Slay in Philadelphia. In Detroit, and now they're in Philadelphia together. So I don't know. That it doesn't seem like a very smart move. Most hated player of all time for the Yankees and Red Sox, like the one that we hate the most on other teams, or just like the one we hate the most on our teams?
Why not both? What's your most hated Yankee of all time?
JC, what's going on? There's a long list.
These are the questions that keep the Yankees Red Sox podcast going.
Exactly. So, as far as like, I think we know my top hated Red Sox, Pedro Martinez. I think we know that. But if I was like hate on a few Yankees, so God, there's like a laundry list: Edwin Encarnacion, Brandon Ryan, Gary Sanchez, Chris Carter. Just like all of these are relevant names. Tyler Clippard probably makes the cake. Phil Hughes towards the end of his Yankee career. Jacoby Ellsbury is another name. Stephen Drew. Joey Gallo. Aaron Hicks. So I've already named you like a whole starting lineup.
It's crazy because like I don't have that many current players. Like you're naming a lot of current players ish,
Right.
And I don't have that many current players that I hate that much. I can't really think of
Josh
of
Donaldson. How did I forget him? So there's probably half that lineup is current players.
God, mine would just have to be the laundry list of bad bullpen pitchers we've had. I mean, if the Red Sox have a bad offensive player, they get rid of them. It's just I don't know why the Yankees love to hold on to these guys.
It just happens.
Interesting.
My bad. I thought you were talking about Yankees, not Scranton. Most favorite lineup for the Yankees and Red Sox? Most favorite lineup. That's an interesting. I'm going to star this one so we have time to think. Probably Hicks. Yep. Yep. Pedro Martinez. Hate him. Defensive assistant, from my knowledge. Defensive assistant. Why you hate Pedro? You don't throw an old man to the ground and then constantly piss on the Yankees and like get my respect. No, that doesn't earn my respect. Mine is
Yeah, he
Veritek.
didn't have
I
to.
don't hate Manny. I don't. I admire him.
Yeah,
I kind of I dislike Big Poppy. I don't hate him.
I could see why you dislike him, but yeah, Pedro throwing that old man to the ground, that is just hilarious to me.
Veritek. I mean, other than the A-Rod beef, there's nothing really there for me. And there's another one. There's another one I was thinking of. Fuck, it just escaped me. But Bronson Arroyo. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't really admire him. My top hated Red Sox will always be Pedro Martinez. Most hated Yankee for me is Carl Pavano. Yep. Great cash move. Awesome. Jay Bruce is another one. Jay Bruce was god awful
Okay.
with the Yankees. That was about 2 years ago. God awful. Jacoby Juice, IKF, thank you. Add that to my list. Kevin Youkilis was also pretty bad.
Yeah.
Sox, it's because Cashman never admit to his mistakes, basically on why there's such a long
Oh, I
list.
see. Yeah.
I also hated when Mookie Betts was with the Red Sox. I didn't really hate him that much. I really don't.
That guy's
hate him
such a
that much.
baller, man.
Machado lost my respect when he ruined Dustin Pedroia's career.
Same here.
I mean, I don't like Machado. I don't hate him. But also, he made a quote a few days ago that's something along the lines of, if you're not rolling with us now, don't roll with us, obviously, when we're doing stuff. But, like, dude, you're, what, 9-11? Is that your record?
Yeah.
Did you see? Yeah, IKF did make a nice catch in center field today. Euclid, yeah, he'd probably be on that laundry list of players. But, guys, let's get to 10 likes here, of course, as well. If you guys haven't already. Also, sub up Sox's channel and also Big Beat Reactions. We all know Sox fans always hate Alex Rodriguez. Yeah, I mean, Alice Rodriguez. He had a misspelling, but Sox is going to take that to his grave.
I like that, though.
Hated Garcia Parra as a kid because he took forever to get.
Yeah.
I didn't see much of Garcia Parra's prime. I'm going to be honest.
No more. Rafael Devers reminds me of him. Obviously, now the pitch clock has ruined, personality in the game and all that good stuff. But Devers reminds me a lot of him talking to himself in the box. Making weird movements. I saw Rafael Devers take a strike yesterday, or was it today? Yesterday, and he goes up there and goes. He takes a big exhale and puts his hands down. Like, guys are just weird on the plate. I love it.
Yeah, builds personality. Sox, y'all dropped the ball when it came to Mookie. He wanted to be with y'all for the tenure.
Yeah,
he just trade him right after the World Series, or what was that? 2 years after?
It was the year after the World Series.
I don't hate Machado. I respect the talent, but he's an asshat. Yeah, he is very much an asshat.
He is an asshat.
How do you feel about Bryce Harper?
I don't mind Bryce Harper. I think he's a good ball player, and I like his attitude, honestly.
A-Rod was almost a Red Sox. That is correct. Giancarlo Stanton also could have been a Red Sox if the Yankees didn't trade for him. So, two alike situations.
What do you think about Bryce Harper?
I always used to think he used to be a dick, but I think he's calmed down, honestly, in recent years. Like, you remember that fight he had with John Papelbon?
Yep.
And they were, like, choking each other and shit. Like, you don't really see that anymore. I think that was just Washington. That's another team that needs to be, like, sold. The Nationals.
That's a good point.
Let's see. What's the Nationals' record? 5-13. Are they the worst in the MLB? No. Kansas City Royals. Oh, boy. I would not want to be just... No. I like Bryce. Never understood the hate he gets. Oh, that's a good question.
He's just kind of a hothead. That's why.
Yeah, he is a hothead. Who's your most favorite coach and most hated coach? For our teams or for MLB or for NFL? Like, be a little bit more specific.
What about in general, all the sports? Okay. Who's your favorite coach you can think of?
Favorite coach? Well, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm always impressed by Terry Francona and the way he gets his teams to like adamant levels of competition. Buck would be one of mine, but he's kind of slowly coming off that list because of the whole Beatty Escobar situation. I've always liked Mattingly, but that's like Yankee bias, and he never had like real success outside of the limits he has. Bob Melvin would probably be on my short list because I've always admired him, the way he gets his teams ready. Obviously,
Bob
hasn't
Brenly
done.
would be on my list. Terry Francona, probably Alex Cora.
I mean, Joe Girardi has always
I
been on my
like
list.
Girardi.
Torrey, even though I really didn't get, you know, uh, to see all of his prime. Let's see what else we got
Doc
here.
Rivers, Phil Jackson.
Um, let's see, NFL wise. Ooh, that's Tom Coughlin
Tom Coughlin, absolutely.
strikes me. Let's
Lovey
see,
Smith, back in the day.
Andy Reid would probably be there.
Sean Payton.
Sean Payton, I would say he probably hops on my list. And I think that's it. Let's see what else.
Bill
The hell else?
Parcells.
Bill Parcells, Doc Rivers is all time overrated. My brother is of that belief as well. Parcells, Torrey,
Probably.
man. Torrey was the absolute best manager the Yankees have had in my lifetime. I mean, in my lifetime, that'd probably be counting as well. And then you obviously got Girardi and you got Boonhead. Minus cash and what they have to deal with market wise, like they're bottom half of the payroll, yet somehow always get in the playoffs. I respect that from the Rays, and they're trying to do the Moneyball theory, but like they have set me off with a lot of shit they do. Like when they brought the 4 outfielders in, and I know we'll have this disagreement. Obviously, the shift is over. The shift is like, obviously altered. You can only, all these different things, the rules they put in. But like when they had the 4 outfielders, when they took Blake Snell out of the World Series, they were the forerunners, the front runners, and the pioneers of this like new analytic age in baseball. Not something I'm a fan of. That's kind of why I secretly hate the Rays. Nationals need to go back to Montreal or split their games in Washington and Montreal. That'd be a tough ask because it's not just like you're going out of state, you're also going out of the country. I think it sounds rough, but again, it's just like that could be a place where a team moves, but at the same time, I don't know. It's just like Salt Lake City's not a good idea. You don't really want to move from Washington all the way across the country. I mean, you're not the San Francisco Giants or the Brooklyn Dodgers. So again, the MLB is not buying there, and you don't want to keep relocating because teams cannot spend. You don't want to set that precedent.
True.
It's still funny. The Nationals won the World Series without Bryce Harper. It was a coincidence. That was all Papelbon's fault. To be fair, though, Blue City, I mean, he's still living up his career, and the Nationals haven't done jack shit since.
True.
So that was all Papelbon's fault. Harper not sprinting out, a pop out isn't grounds for assaulting a teammate. Yeah, I mean, Papelbon wasn't much of an accomplished player.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't have to go at him like that.
Yeah. Besides being carried by a super team, he's done nothing. I wonder which one you're referring to. I also like Alex Cora, I'm not gonna lie. Do I like him on every occasion? No, but he's like, he's a guy I wish I had. I like Cora. People give Cora the respect he deserves. My NFL guy is Coach Dable Coughlin, going to be the best Giants head coach once he ends his tenure. I hope so. 2-0 Mets in the top of the 4th. Who was the Yankee manager during the Reggie Jackson era? That is Mr. Billy Martin. Billy Martin. If I was alive, well, he'd probably be on my list too. I wish I would have seen what he was, obviously during that time period. Is Alex Cora officially on the hot seat? I don't think so.
No.
I wouldn't say so.
Not even close, actually.
It's still funny that the National, it's covered that one. I'll go back to this one in just a second. Jim Leland, no fucks given with that guy.
I love that guy. I really do. He would go smoke cigarettes in the tunnel during the in-between innings.
I mean, Leland was just there. I mean, it's not like I hate the guy, but he was never. I'm never attached to him. One manager I like, and he never, ever, 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 ever was successful. It was probably one of the best 21st century guys when it came to ranting on an umpire. Lloyd McClendon.
Okay.
So, and another guy too, Lou Piniella.
Okay, yeah, good Lou.
Two guys who kind of like the kick in the dirt, the taking the bases. How long was Buck manager of the Yankees? Was it 9 years? No, it was from 1992 or 93 to 95. So it was like probably a third of what you said.
Who's the
Stump
guy
Merrill
that was the manager of the Mets? The Terry
Terry Collins.
Terry Collins, yeah.
And now I don't know if he's still in that front office role. I think he was also the manager of one of the other teams. He was supposed to be, let's see, Jim Leland. Let's look him up. Manager of the year 3 times, and he also was a World Series champion with the Florida Marlins, which I forgot, honestly.
Okay.
So, yeah, Lou was a legend. There's a mini series about Reggie. Yep, Bronx is Burning. That's with George Steinbrenner and obviously Billy Martin, all that sort of stuff. I got to see that. That's like on my short list of movies to watch. Took the Pirates, Marlins, Tigers to the World Series. I forgot about the Pirates. When did they go to the World Series? Let's take a look. I can look on his record from 86 to 96. Which year did they go to the fucking World Series?
Like 94 or something like that.
Yeah, against the Braves. No.
94?
94, there was no World Series because there was the Union lockout. Why am I blanking on this? Let's see. Euland. Hold on. Damn it. Keyboards. Take a look. I know there was that famous video of him getting into a fight with Barry Bonds. Let's see. He won 3 straight division titles. But no, he never. I don't think he ever took them to World Series. Unless, how you guys think the current Pirates look? I mean, they're the second best team in the division, but we'll see if it lasts. That would be Mr. Joe Torre. Joe Torre. Maybe he didn't take the Pirates to World Series. Just they had won 3 straight divisions with him. It's a good question. And Sox, feel free to answer on this one as well, because with Joe Carlos Stanton. Holy shit! Eduardo Escobar hit a 2-run homer. Wow.
Damn.
His average is going to go up from like 120 to 140. But back to this one. What's your opinion on Giancarlo Stanton? Should he be in the Hall of Fame if he was healthier? Yes, Network said if he was healthier, he'd get to 500 career home runs. Let's look at how many career home runs he has right now.
If he's healthy, he's a Hall of Famer, 100%.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think he needs a ring under his belt. And the thing is, as well, is like he did not until last year make the All-Star team with the Yankees. That's the issue I have. Attaboy Eddie. But yeah, let's see. He's at 382 right now. I highly doubt he's getting to 500 unless he hits 118 home runs within the span of like 4 years. So he's like he's at 382. I think that's what I said. But yeah, that's I don't think he's a Hall of Famer. He did listen. Obviously, you go into 59 home runs a few years ago, and the Yankees got him. I mean, that's a record you can go to. But also went over this one. Obviously went over this one as well. What year was what year was the most favorite lineup? I misread this. I thought it was the most favorite lineup. I personally, and even though they did jack shit, I love the 2011 lineups. 2011, 2012, we had Jeter leading off, Curtis Granderson, Mark Teixeira, Alex Rodriguez, Robbie Cano, Nick Swisher, and then you can fill out the rest of the lineup with maybe a Posada, Russell Martin. I also think one of the more underrated New York Yankees is Brian McCann, my personal opinion.
That's fair.
But
I think the 2008 Red Sox are one of my favorites.
How did that
13 team was fun. Josh Beckett's my guy. I love Clay Buchholz. That team was fun. Those guys were in there. Number 60, 61, and 64. Let's see who else was on that squad. I mean, you obviously got Veritek, Euclid, Pedroia, Manny Ramirez, Coco Crisp. Obviously had his ups and downs for us. J.D. Drew, David Ortiz, Jacoby Ellsbury, Jed Lowry, Sean Casey, Jason Bay. Alex Cora played shortstop that year. You had Lester, Masterson, Wakefield. Bartolo was on that team.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's Jonathan Papelbon, obviously. A lot of fun.
He was really good. He fit the stadium perfectly. We traded him in the youth movement in 16. Right, Alex? That is correct. We traded him, I believe, for Albert Abreu and another guy. That is Brian McCann. We also traded him, Carlos Beltran, for like two schmucks from the Rangers, Andrew Miller for Clint Frazier, Ben Heller, Justice Sheffield, and JP Fireeisen. And then Aroldis Chapman, Rashad Crawford, Adam Warren, Glaber Torres, and there's probably another guy. I think maybe Billy McKinney, but I'm not too certain. But yeah, that was when the Yankees kind of had their fire sale. Then there was like that period of time where they thought they were going to the playoffs with this youth movement. Obviously, it didn't happen. But that's pretty much that. 2004 Red Sox. Yeah, we all know what happened in 2004. Yankees
Johnny Damon, baby.
they decided to Johnny Damon won a ring with us. Did you get to see a few weeks ago? He was hitting for the Savannah Bananas.
Yeah, I saw that. That was cool.
I'm like, really? What is the guy doing?
Yeah, I know.
We actually got Dylan Tate in the Beltran deal, and Tate is a reliever with Baltimore. We traded Tate, I know, in the deal for Zach Britton, along with Josh Rogers and another guy. But thank you for that, Jacob. When is Tommy Kahnle coming back? That I have no idea. That I honestly do not know. Armand says Arbedo for Nimmo. Mets lead 5-0, top of the fourth draft. He's playing really well. Brandon Nimmo. He's flashed a lot of the glove. But it also doesn't surprise me because the Giants are just mid. They are mid. 1 year wonder. I think we called it on our prediction show that the Giants would not do that well.
Yeah.
So, and then my index card is somewhere.
I got mine right
Backstage
here.
Baseball.
Where do I have? I had the San Fran finishing third.
And right now they are in fourth. I probably had them. I think I had them in third. And then I had the D-backs and the Rockies a little bit lower. Backstage Baseball did an interview with Damon a few weeks ago. Check it out. Yeah, I mean, Johnny Damon seems like a cool guy. Would they be perfect for this show? What NFL team you hate the most in the NFL? I'd probably say the Eagles by far.
Eagles.
By far. More than the Cowboys. Has to be the Eagles. Dubon is another closer I would consider. He definitely. I don't know why my computer's being slow, but another name, maybe three names, and then if not, you just stick to what you have. Hope something works out, but I don't know. We'll see, of course, what happens at the deadline for both respective teams, and that's still far away. But that also would mean, hey, guess what? We're close to baseball season, and I'm gonna ask you about something as well. Wasn't Adam Duvall like really powering it on before he got hurt?
Yeah, man. Like best on the team, like surprised the guy we needed hitting the ball the other way off the monster. He had, I believe, like repair surgery on that left hand before. And as soon as we saw that get up under his hand, they brought it up that he had left hand surgery. He pulled himself out of the game. Usually guys want to stay in there and shake it off, maybe for a half inning, finish the half inning or so. But no, he pulled himself right out of the game and no timetable for his return, which really sucks because he was hitting the ball all over the ballpark.
Giants pull Manaea after 3.2, 88 pitches. Tristan Beck is in. Sean Manaea, any pitcher that comes out of Oakland is just pure garbage. I'm honestly just going to make that assumption. Montas, no. Gray is an exception. Sonny Gray, I think, is top 5 in ERA right now. Golden State up 39-30 versus Sacramento. I think Sacramento's. Did you see what Draymond Green did to Domantas Sabonis?
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think it was very unnecessary. I think he deserved to get ejected and did not deserve to get suspended.
You didn't think he should have got suspended?
No. Sabonis is grabbing his ankles. I mean, it's not like he's an innocent bystander and all that either.
No, he's not. But like, I honestly expected Not because what Sabonis was doing, but because it's Draymond Green, it's the Golden State Warriors. If they lose him, there's going to be this outcry. And obviously, they did suspend him for the game, so we'll see what happens. Obviously, with that, but when I saw him, like, what the fuck are you doing, dude?
Yeah, he's
And
an idiot.
and he was egging on the crowd afterward. I'm like, he's
Yeah,
such a
yeah, calling them pussies and shit too.
I mean, that's just again, that's clown energy. That's
Yeah.
clown energy. Let's see what else we got here. What is your favorite play in the MLB all time and the NFL? The NFL would probably be the Mario Manningham catch along the sideline in Super Bowl 46.
Helmet catch.
Sox takes it from the other Super Bowl against the Patriots. And then for me, in terms of MLB, might be the flip play.
Derek Jeter?
Yeah, of course.
Mine's probably David Ortiz hitting that ball against Detroit into the bullpen. I think we talked about this a couple weeks ago.
Was it like bases loaded 3-1 or something like that?
Yes. Sent Torrey Hunter over the wall. You could see his legs up in the air. Yeah, perfect.
Torrey Hunter. That's a name I haven't heard of in years.
Yeah.
Alex, did you see Claxton and Embiid play? Embiid did the same thing, and they just called it a flagrant no one ejection. No, I did not see that. I'm going to take a look at that. And I know, obviously, James Harden was also tossed tonight due to something as well. So, I mean, we'll see. We'll see what happens with that series and whatnot. Mine is Giambi. Yep, that would be the flip play, right? Jeremy Giambi gets thrown out at the plate, and I think it's still one of the greatest plays of all time. There's no doubt about that. Probably top 10. Probably top 10 in that area. Let's see what else we got on the books. I think we could be also as well. I wanted to ask you about real quickly before we start closing things out. What is behind the hot starts between Verdugo, who's really hitting well, Devers, and then like I hear Cassis is hitting something like 143.
Yeah, Cassis, did I take it down? He's hitting 133. At least in his last 15 games, that's what I got out of his splits. He cannot hit the high fastball at all. He had a promising spring training. He was having like a Bobby Dahlbeck-esque spring training, but struck out 15 times in his last 15 games, hitting just 133. He did take 2 walks today, which I like to see, and I like his energy too. He had a hit today as well, but I don't know if you saw, he took a 14-pitch walk in that series in Tampa Bay, and he let out a warrior scream after he took a walk. Did you see that?
The last few days, I'm not going to lie to you, there's been longer ABs like that.
Yeah.
You just mentioned one. Andre Chaparro, one of the, I can't say he's a top prospect. He's a prospect in the Yankee system. He had like a 16-pitch AB. And then I think there was one like 2 days ago where there was another. So
yeah. I mean, guys are seeing the ball well. I like it. I like long at bats. It builds the anticipation. But
the tension,
he's seeing, it builds the tension. He's seeing the ball well. That 133 clip in his last 15 isn't that great, but I think he's better than Dahlbeck, which Jacobs points him out there. Yeah, I think Costas is our guy there.
What is your favorite special moment of the Yankees all time? Mine would be Jeter hitting 300 home runs. For me, there's a lot of them. I'm going to star this one for real quickly because I also want to get to this. Who else is a rookie in the I don't think it's also, Jacob, I don't think it's Volpe's spot to lose for rookie of the year. I think there's probably a couple of rookies you could probably put in that conversation. I don't know how Corbin Carroll is doing for the Diamondbacks. There's another one that's Gunnar Henderson is probably in that category too. There's a lot of them. But I wouldn't say Volpe is a spot to lose because he's still hitting around 200, and that's not great baseball. Special moment of the Yankees all time. I remember watching Jeter hit his 3,000th hit, and obviously not live, but Yankee playoff moments. I don't have too many of like great ones because they've been eliminated constantly, but man, there's just a lot of them. There is a lot. I also remember seeing Corey Kluber's no hitter on TV and just like not jinxing it. Jordan Walker from St. Louis. That's a good one. That's a good one, Lorenzo. But I think we're gonna start wrapping it up here. Obviously, it was our first show in 2 weeks. We'll see what happens next week. Because if I'm not mistaken, the NFL draft is next week, so we'll coordinate.
Yes.
But Sox, final thoughts?
Yeah, I'm excited to watch some NBA basketball here for the rest of the night. You know, Sox playing well, got a good win against Angels, took three out of 4, and then here against the Twins, which, you know, I just wish that Rays team wasn't so hot. But it's early, so I think the AL East is going to be super competitive this year. Hopefully, the Giants go out there and have a hell of a draft. And someone said it, but it's like Christmas morning draft day. It's like a nice little football fix, you know, in your off season, just to get your feet wet a little bit for the season. So I'm excited about it. Make sure you guys head over to Big B Reactions. We're going to be pumping out some new music reactions, and appreciate you. We'll see you next week.
Yeah, we will be streaming all 3 days of the draft, to my knowledge, Jacob. As for this one of the more emotional moments definitely was when Mariano had his last moment. I think that was extremely emotional. Which New York team do you see winning a championship first? I think it'll be the Rangers, in my opinion.
Probably.
And I agree with that. Draft is 1 week away. Yes, it is. It's going to be a long one, guys. Again, sub up to Big Beat Reactions, sub up to SOX Arizona. The video will be available on SOX's channel probably after this. It was my mistake for not putting it over there, of course. But also as well, we got a ton of live streams packed in for you guys. We got tomorrow's Knicks in the Mix, followed up by a Knicks live stream. With that being said, we got nothing on Saturday. Sunday, we got 2 live streams for you. We got the Knicks versus the Cavs game 4 at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and at 7, we got the Mets and San Francisco Giants. John will be reacting. You'll get to see some curse words definitely there. Let's see what else. Monday, Boys in the Big Apple. Tuesday, we got the Giants draft preview. Wednesday, NFL draft preview. And then, boom, rest of the week is covered by the draft, followed by next Sunday is the call-in show. August 13th was the day that Judge and Tyler Austin came up. They both hit home runs. The day before that, A-Rod retired, which I found extremely coincidental. Have you ever cried at any sporting events? No, but something that made me really emotional, that almost made me cry, was when Eli retired. Like that Dolphins send off, I was like this close away to bawling my eyes out. I'm not gonna lie.
I cried when they won the first Super Bowl, the helmet catch Super Bowl. I was a little kid, but I definitely cried. And then, I think I might have shed a tear there at that Dolphins send off. That's just gives me chills thinking about it.
Definitely, but
and great moment, Boston Marathon bombing the first day back when David Ortiz came out and said, "This is our fucking city. Nobody's gonna take it from us." Definitely cried watching that one.
And I'm gonna bounce off that one when George Bush threw out the first pitch.
Yeah,
right to Roger Clemens.
Yeah.
I'm gonna cry once IKF and Hicks retire. I'm gonna throw a fuck. Everybody's invited to the party. Like once they retire, once they're released. Gonna have a live stream on here. Yeah. Go nuts. When they commemorated the 96 Yankees in 2016, I shed a tear at the event. Sports is just an emotional thing, man. And, it's a shame. A lot of people don't get that vibe. But, I mean, definitely once one of my teams wins a championship, there's not going to be a situation where I don't cry. Because I have yet to see that. Like 2009, I was 6 years old. Like I wasn't watching baseball. So
wow, man.
Hopefully, fingers crossed, one of my teams wins a championship in my life.
Hopefully it's the Giants.
Hopefully it's the Giants, or it could be the Rangers, it could be the Knicks, it could be the Yankees. But anyway, we appreciate you guys. We will see you next time for the next few live streams. Peace out.